50.
Good morning. You are listening to the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Now, let's go to the voice of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
And good morning. This is the Coach's Corner, KYNT, KYNTV. I am Bryce Ladwig. Thank you for joining us. And the Yankton Bucks fell last night at Hollister Field in the state capital in Pierre, 59-31 in 11AA semifinal matchup. Now the 11AA football championship will be held between Pierre and the number 2 seed T Area, a rematch from the same game a year ago in the Dakota Dome. Pierre 11-0 and T 10-1 with that one loss coming against Pierre earlier in the season. The other semifinal matchup last night was T Area defeating Aberdeen Central 44-7. They absolutely took care of business up in T. And so I'm looking forward to that matchup. Obviously, we always want it to be the Yankton Bucks, but Yankton, really nice season on the year, ends at 6-5, and absolutely came with some firepower to Hollister Field last night. I don't think the Governors were expecting that, and just an excellent showing from the Bucks last night. But Pierre is truly something special, and obviously when you have that many state titles in a row or overall, it just kind of speaks for itself. But we'll talk to the Yankton coaches here shortly on the Coach's Corner. Then we'll talk to Coach Chelsea Law of Yankton Gazelles Volleyball. Their season just ended on Thursday. Yeah, on Thursday. Watertown came into Summit Activity Center and took down the Yankton Gazelles to end their season. They did just finish outside of the SODAC 16. They finished 7th in Class AA. We'll talk all about that here coming up on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
In the lab or up on stage, Mount Marty University has a place for you. From athletes and artists to academics and alumni, together we cheer each other on and work to make a difference in the lives of those around us. Show your spirit at a university that celebrates what makes us different. Schedule a tour at Mount Marty University by visiting mountmarty.edu or calling 605-668-1545.
It's time for a new kind of credit card, one that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen for complete details. From the great big small bank, ever ready for you to earn more so you can do more. Only with Evergreen by FNBO. Learn more today at fnbo.com/evergreen.
You want peace of mind that you're healthy. Support your breast health by getting a mammogram every year starting at age 40. Multiple Avera Breast Center locations across the region offer easy access. We'll create a screening plan that makes sense for you. You have access to specialized breast cancer experts should you need it. Find a screening location near you at avera.org/breast.
Are you looking to get your career moving? Then Truxedo Bed Covers is looking for you. Truxedo of Yankton has immediate openings for first, second, and third shifts and offers weekly pay, full benefits package with paid time off, paid holidays, a team-oriented atmosphere, climate-controlled work environment, and pay starting at $19.75 an hour. If you're ready to join the Truxedo team, visit truxedo.com/careers and apply today. Truxedo is a real truck company and equal opportunity employer.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Let's start talking Yankton Bucks football, being joined by Coach Muth and Coach Justin Olson. Coaches, good morning.
Morning, Bryce.
Hey, good morning, Bryce.
Well, it's these shows that are always hard when the year ends, right? Obviously, coming off a tough loss, the season effectively is over, and it's always hard to decide how much of the game do we talk about, how much just season-ending stuff do we talk about, and I always like to go for more of the season-ending stuff. So there's a couple things about the game overall. We'll start with Coach Muth. The offense came out firing. That was a really nice offensive performance from Yankton. Obviously, we'll talk about the Buck spread, I'm sure, stuff like that. But even before that, everyone just did their assignment.
I thought offensively we executed real well. It took us a little bit, first series especially, I didn't think we were physical enough up front. But, a couple little instances where we stubbed our toe, either penalty or turnover or things like that. But they weren't it wasn't anything where it was a stupid mistake. It was just a football play, and those things happen. And so, but I would say overall, for the most part, the offense did a pretty good job, especially really adapting to how the game kind of unfolded in front of us. I thought offensively we made good adjustments and we got the ball put where it needed to be.
And then Coach Olson, obviously Yankton's defense, that secondary did a nice job last night. It's always a tall task, pun completely intended, considering they have a receiver 6'3", 4, 5, 7. But
Sure,
the secondary did a nice job of doing the best they could.
Yeah, they were in the right spots. It was just it was a good pitch and catch. All night long. It just seemed like it was just right out of the reach of our defenders, and that's we couldn't have asked for anything more out of those guys. They're good receivers, and we never know Lincoln Keenholz, and he just dropped them right in there, and it's unfortunate, because those guys are good. Mac was out there, blanket coverage, and it just happened, and Cooper, same thing, and Rayner, there's a couple plays where he just, Keenholz just dotted the I, and there's nothing you can do about it. Just get up and let's go again. So.
And we'll mention him one last time on the show until we face Pierre next year, and then we'll say they no longer have Lincoln Keenholz. But just overall, the kind of athlete he is, and just the way he's torn up, not just 11 AA, but he's going to Brandon Valley, taking care of them. He is quite the special athlete. He
is. And that's what we prepare for. And it would be nice to knock him off. And I thought we had a great game plan coming in to kind of to slow down their offense. We knew they were going to score. But I thought overall, our defense executed our scheme, for the most part. There's a couple misassignments and some confusion a little bit that led to some big plays. But like I said, we know they're going to score, and just as a defensive guy, I'm just happy that we have the offense we do and the players that we do on that side of the ball as well. With Coach Huber calling the plays, and Coach Muth mentoring all through that. It's fun to be a part of a program like we have. I know we just dipped into another area of what we're talking about, but
there is no set.
Okay, yeah, it's just something special to be a part of. And unfortunately we came up short last night to a very good football team, but to put up the points that we did and whatnot, and it's just hard because we have a very special group of seniors too, and we just wanted to win for them and coach this game, for them, because they deserve a shot at a state title. And last night I told the guys that this is our championship game, and Coach has been preaching it all week. This is the championship game, and we knocked down, drag out. I mean, we hung right in there. Unfortunately, the big plays, we just couldn't run as much with them on the defensive side of the ball. So, but it is what it is. I'm very proud of those guys on both sides of the ball.
Well, the team always gives 100%, so no one's saying they don't. But this feels different than 55-10. It really just feels like a whole different team really came to Hollister Field last night. And Coach Muth, I guess, he alluded to it, and I was going there anyway. But you can take this moment to kind of talk about your coaching staff a little bit, and then I'll set you guys up for talking about some seniors, because it's a really special senior class that's walking away.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing defensively, I thought the plays that happened weren't because of a missed assignment. It was just somebody making a football play and us getting beat on that play. And when you've got guys that can respond that way, get yourself back up after a good play is made and you're on the wrong end of it. I mean, it's a big deal, and it says something about the guys that we have on the field, that they can move on to the next play and still execute. And I think the story of the night as disappointing as it was to lose and to finish your season, not in the Dakota Dome. The big thing is the story really last night and the whole season has been how these guys have responded. The makeup of these guys on our team is something special. You've got a group of guys and our seniors that show everybody to do it the right way. We've got a thing, our little slogan is Yankton DNA. I mean, you can see what these guys are made of by the way they play on the field, and that's ingrained in them all the way from when they're little guys to when they're playing their last game as an 18-year-old grown man. And so I'm really proud of the effort our guys put forth. I think you saw a group of guys that really cared for each other and really loved playing with each other and love each other. And they were fighting to the very end of it. And, we ran into a team that's really, really good. And when you run into a team that's really, really good, you got to hit on every single mark. And we just missed our mark a couple times last night.
Yeah. And excuse me. And it's one of those things with seniors. I always get a little nervous talking about individual seniors on these kind of talks because you don't want to miss anyone.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll try to rapidly pull up the roster when one of you are talking. But Rugby Riken played his final high school football game last night. Cody Oswald, Tyler Stoller, these guys are in record books in Yankton history. And it really is something, well, it's sad when it initially happens and, everyone's still processing this, right? But
yeah,
it's going to be fun to look back and to see how special their careers are.
Yeah, and we talked about that last night, in a game like that where it's a competitive game and you really left everything out on the field. There wasn't 1 ounce of effort that they had left in their tank. It was all left out on the field last night. It's hard to see the forest from the trees a little bit. There are a lot of bright spots in this season, and obviously some of those things show up in the record books. But the bigger part is you see things that maybe don't show up in a record book or in a stat that really impact our program all the way down. And this group of seniors, and every year we have great seniors. We really do. Our classes, they do a very good job of gelling together up to the point of their senior year, and then they lead the heck out of our guys. But the big impact that is made by this group of guys in particular is showing people how to do things the right way. We really preach multi-sport athletes. This senior class is made up of almost all multi-sport athletes. And if they're not multi-sport athletes, they're in the weight room busting their backside to get better for the next competitive season they have. And so, I mean, to me, that's as we're looking back, if we want to appreciate the things that this team has done, it's showing everybody in our program how the right way to do things. And we're going to get one of these things one of these days because we built it the right way. And that's a testament to our coaching staff all the way down to our middle school coaches. I mean, those guys set such a great foundation for our program. And right now we've got over 100 kids in our middle school program. That happens because we've got guys at the middle school level that coaches want to play for and do a good job of getting them ingrained in Buck football. And that's really the first exposure to it. And those guys have done a great job. The class is coming up. There's a lot of excitement. We don't want to move on too fast, but it's hard not to see some of the talent and just the character of the guys we have coming up, the kids that are playing in our program. So while it's hard, today is hard, just because it's not the way we saw this whole thing shaken out. But the sun came up. There's a lot to appreciate of this season. There's a lot to be excited about.
Well, Coach Booth, unless you have anything else you want to add, I think that's kind of a good way for your Coach's Corner for the fall to kind of wrap up. But you can start thinking about some final words while I turn it over to Coach Olson here, if you want.
Okay.
No, I'm thinking it was really good. Coach Olson, kind of, your final words of the fall season. Obviously, we'll talk for gymnastics, winter, but
right.
Of course for football. And before you start that, I want to say you're talking about Coach Muth about, we'll get one of these things one of these days. I just want to let you know it's been really fun to cover. I've been covering Yankton football now full time, 5 years, a better part of 6 years overall. And I think the Bucks have been in the semifinals like 4 of those 5 or something of that. It's a very successful program and it's something to be proud of completely. So, but Coach Olson, kind of your final thoughts on this fall football season.
Well, I kind of piggyback on what Coach Muth was saying, especially about our seniors, and then that's where it starts, and just to say, about just high character guys. We've both been part of locker rooms afterward, on the wins and losses side, but unfortunately we've been on this falling short of in the semifinals, a few times, like you mentioned, and you can kind of tell what kind of character that these guys hold, by how they react. And it was a sad locker room, but these guys have such good character and a great foundation, because it wasn't as sappy as some locker rooms have been.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not afraid to say that. It's one of those things where it stung that they lost, but they were more talking about, hey, you know what, good play, and man, this sucks that it's over, and giving hugs around and stuff like that. There's more younger guys, I think, that were more tearing up and like sad, like visually, that probably were like, man, I just feel so bad for those seniors, that this is over, because I think those young guys knew how special a group it was and how good this football team was in general. So just to see that, and just talking to each one of those seniors last night in the locker room, just knowing that, just looking them in the eyes, and they, like Coach said, they know how to move on. But is this going to sting? Yeah, they put their blood, sweat, and tears into being a Buck football player, from whether it's a little guy or your freshman year and whatnot. So I'm sure they're going to just think back, kind of like I'm still doing now. It's like, just think about a play. It's like, oh, darn, just kind of one of those things. Because, I mean, you just want it so bad for these kids. That's why we coach. And it's not like for personal, accolades. We could care less about that. It's about doing what we can to put these kids in the position to be successful and in life and in football. But on the football side, it was just a fun group to coach. Very coachable kids. And I remember back in the day with my dad saying, yeah, you got to be coachable. And now that's one of the things that's kind of stuck with me, and having poise was another one too. When things go bad, you can't just blow up and expect to come out the next time and have some positive things happen for you. So between high character guys, guys with poise, and confidence, and knowing how to battle adversity, kind of encompasses our seniors. There's a lot of players that we asked to do some things and to kind of wait their turn in this game too, just to try to scheme wise. And I'm just really proud of some of those guys. They didn't say boo. They just accepted their role in that game, and when they got a chance to get in, they made the best of it. So I take my hats off to all seniors, and super proud. So that's my shout out to the seniors. Love you guys, love this team, and coaching staff. I thought it was one of those things where Coach Muth alludes to it all the time. Relationships. You build with certain relationships and strong relationships amongst individuals, and it's a lot easier to have conversations and to collaborate. And that's what this coaching staff is about. Is we're not afraid to collaborate with each other, ask questions, and come together. It's not Coach Muth on his own, Coach Huber, Coach Kopitz, myself, Coach Hale, Coach Decker, all the way down. The freshman level, they come and ask questions, and that's what we want. And to spread the knowledge, and even us senior coaches, getting information from the younger guys. And it's just always evolving, and we never had a chip on our shoulder. I don't think and never been too prideful to be like, hey, what you do in this session? Like, what's your thoughts here? And I think that's Coach Muth has done a great job of leading us as far as a staff, and as far as, and that trickles down into the team, obviously. So I'll quit being sappy, but I'm just so dang proud of the coaching staff, so dang proud of this football team. And the last thing I'll say is the support from the community and the parents has been unparalleled, and that's what makes Yankton football, really special too. And all the support from the alumni, they're out there, and of course you guys back us great. I mean, it's fun to come in and talk, I don't know there's any program that has something like this that you can come in and get our thoughts and care so much about what we're doing and what the kids are doing. So we appreciate that for sure.
Well, appreciate the kind words. Those watching on KYN TV or taking it in on KYNT, I will list the seniors at the end of the show here today, give them a proper shout out. I just don't want to go through all of them right in this very moment, but I want to turn over to Coach Muth. Coach Muth, you and I and everyone here could talk for probably hours, but I'll give you a platform for some final words.
Yeah, just the big thing with this team, and it was on display last night. I think football is a great game because it teaches you a lot of life lessons, and the big thing that I think sticks with me most with this group is just how they handle adversity, how they handle hard situations, because we know this as adults that life isn't all rainbows and lollipops. Life can sometimes knock you on your keister, and the measure of a man is how they handle adversity. And I think these guys have dealt with their fair share of adversity this year. And to me, as I'm watching them, because some of my role isn't as much as, ingrained with the players as much as it used to be. And so to sit and be able to observe these guys handle tough situations and come out on top more times than not, I think speaks, as Coach Olson was talking about, just the character of these guys and what they're made of. Every single one of those guys, especially those seniors, has a fighting spirit, and that was on display last night. A lot of teams, it would have been real easy to roll over and die, and our guys kept fighting, they kept swinging, and that's the one thing we try to preach to them. And I know sometimes that message doesn't get home, but you never had to worry about that with these seniors. They were always going to come to work, and they had a goal in mind, and they were going to work towards that goal. And so I don't know if I have enough words or enough time to express my gratitude to this senior class, especially for setting a good example for what it means to be a Buck football player to everybody else in the program. That's all the way down to the, to the second and third graders that they're working with on a Saturday morning. That's why our program, that's a big reason why our program is what it is. We've got players that lead the right way, that set a good example. And there's sometimes we fall short of our goals, but I think the story to that is that even though you fall short of your goals, you still get back up and you still keep trying. You still keep shooting for it. I think one reason why the locker room looked the way it did was because there was no doubt in anybody's mind that they left it all out on the field. Right. Nobody had any regrets with what happened out on the field. They were upset with the outcome, but they knew that they did all they could. They just came up short, and that happens sometimes in life too. But I know just in talking with them and in getting to know are them building relationships with the younger guys on our teams, the senior class has made sure that everybody understands what it means to be a Buck. And you can't put a price tag on that. Very grateful for just the guys we get to coach. Again, thank you to you for, all the support we get from the media. Like Coach Olson said, there are guys that go on to play college football and they don't have the experience that a Buck football player has, and that's not because of us. That's because of the way the community and the school and everybody supports them. And Yankton does such a great job supporting all of their programs. We're really fortunate to be able to coach here. I tell our guys all the time, you're really fortunate to get to play football here because it's not like this in most places. And so thank you to you and the media group that covers us and makes our kids a big deal. That's important. And thanks to the community for all your support this year.
Can I say one more thing, Bryce?
Yeah.
The last thing, I just want to say something to the seniors, okay, and if they're listening, and then to the younger kids who are coming back. We might have wounded that bear. We didn't get it, but that bear's still out there. And by golly, we're going to do our darnest to get that bear.
Yep.
Coaches, thank you so much for coming in all season. We'll talk in the winter, Coach Olson, but Coach, we thank you.
Yeah.
And most of all, congratulations on a successful and fun season.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bryce.
All right, we'll continue talking Yankton Bucks football when we come back.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966, and with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests, Olson Pest Technicians can treat and cure them. Right now, they can provide grain fumigation on the farm and do one-shots for homes to keep pests out for the winter. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KIL-BUGS.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please move forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources. Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye. At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Fieser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT&RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Support a local business that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts for Yankton's largest employers, Triple Time Rudy's. At Triple Time Rudy's, you get that local friendly feel and also a unique offering of products. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers, plus quality fuel products too. Conveniently located at 17th and Broadway for your daily fill-ups and convenience needs. Pull in to Triple Time Rudy's today.
Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you may make in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig being joined by Coach Terry Huber, Coach Brandon Colpitz. Coaches, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Bryce.
What time did you guys roll in last night? Like 2:33?
Yeah, right around there.
About the same. So a lot of sleep ahead, maybe. Who knows? Or family gonna let you?
I know Coach Huber doesn't sleep.
Got to get to work. Coach Huber does not sleep. He's up all night like a vampire. No, honestly, guys, tough loss last night. Only one team can end the entire season with a victory. That's how that goes, right?
Yep.
But Yankton, another really nice semifinal performance. That offense came out strong last night. Completely different offensive performance than the regular season matchup. That was really nice to see, Coach Huber.
Yeah, absolutely. Really proud of that offensive group last night. We kind of fell short of our goal a little bit. We wanted to be 35 or more, but that's a pretty high standard against a team that had the talent like Pierre did. But extremely proud of those guys. They came out ready to fire. They were firing on all cylinders right away, and it was really fun to see. I was laughing and joking on the sideline the entire time with those guys because they made it really fun. They went out there and they put everything on the line. It was a great time.
And then Coach Colpitz, that special teams appeared to not want to kick to Yankton, and that's why I don't think they ever did. Right? They went deep like once. They pretty much all kind of middle of the pack, kind of short kicks, right?
Yeah, and those kicks that people don't realize how hard that is to execute, and that guy put it in the same spot time and time again.
We were joking, sorry, but we were
ahead.
joking in the booth about how Tyson Prouty was probably saying like, I like to tackle, I like to block. No one said I had to have finesse work today because he got like 3 of them, right?
Yeah, he did. He did a good job. We made an adjustment where we bumped that guy up and tried to get a return, but it's just when it's kicked high like that, it's tough, But it was. I thought special teams wise, our kickoff unit, we struggled. If you look at who they had returning, they had some guys that were pretty talented back there, and we knew that. Was hoping we'd get a little better execution. At the end of the day, we were able to get the guys down, but we would have liked it about 15 yards sooner. I thought, Pauly kicked the ball well yesterday on his PATs and his punt, but it was not their greatest performance, but you're going against a quality opponent, so you don't expect perfection. You expect them to give great effort and make adjustments as they went, and they did.
Yeah, and usually after a game, we get really more into the X's and O's and things of that nature, stats and stuff. I don't have stats in front of me. It's just one of those. This is really kind of a send-off show for the fall season, and I guess I'll give whoever's going to go first is unlucky. The next one can really get their thoughts together for what they want to say. But kind of final thoughts. You mentioned your seniors, just overall your unit that you really specifically kind of cover on the field. While Yankton lost in the semifinal round, it's the semifinal round, another successful and fun season for the Yankton Bucks. And who do I want to go first? Hubert.
I think you're absolutely right in saying that, it is a semifinal game. How many kids are at home watching those games that want to be out there playing. And, I reminded our offense that I'm like, it's November, it's a beautiful night and we're playing football. Like where else would we want to be right now? And so it was a great time over this season. I think kind of just wrapping up the offense wise, we started out, I thought from day one with a group of guys who had very high expectations for themselves. We knew coming into this line, losing a lot of those senior linemen last year, that it was going to be kind of a struggle up front, that we were going to have to get that cohesiveness, and it was going to take. That takes a little time, to work together. Coach Colpitz and I were talking about that on the way home, just how much work it takes to get those guys to come together. But I really thought that senior group that we had this year on both sides of the ball was just phenomenal. I just felt like they were continuous. That season, those few losses that we had, that kind of stretch of losses, it's really easy for a team to go down and just, kind of almost give up on the season. And those guys didn't. They were consistent in their effort. They were consistent in the quality of character that they have. And it was just really fun for me to be a part of. I know that people are always like, the coaches lead. But, I felt like I was along for the ride on this one. It was a great time. I'm going to miss these guys a lot, and seeing them after the game. The best part is knowing that group of seniors is the first team that I coached in Yankton when I came here as a freshman coach. And so to see those guys, it really meant a lot. Just to see how successful they are and how great young men they've become. I think that's the goal of all of us coaches is football's great. And you learn a lot about football in the way that you play the game. But you learn more about life in the way you play the game. And I really feel like those guys, the way they started and the way they finished, they've improved and they become really, really great young men that I'm excited for them to get out into the world and help make this place better. I really truly think that they're going to be that great.
Very well said. Sorry, I do have one actually X's and O's question. How was it dusting off the old Buck spread?
Yeah, so kind of funny, and I got to kind of give Muth props for this because I had installed Buck spread earlier in the season. I guess I don't find myself as too gimmicky. We like to go fast and stuff, and it is tough to throw an offense like that in there. However, when we put it, Muth kind of came to me and he said it might be a good thing to revamp and go back in, and so I went in and made some changes on personnel, and we just practiced it, but these guys, it was like working with a college group of guys. It was just so mature, in which I felt that I could throw anything at them at that point, and they're going to say, okay, let's go. Like, let's go do it. The guys, and to be able to go in and out of that buck spread last night like they were doing, that made it very challenging on Pierre. I mean, when you're subbing in 4 or 5 DBs to cover that buck spread, and then you go back in your regular offense like it's nothing, I just feel like that's extremely challenging. So it was really fun to see those guys just kind of take ownership on it, and we gave them ownership at the beginning of the week. So, I hats off to those leaders on the offense, because really it was them that was running the show on that. We just got great seats last night.
Well, one of the funnest things to watch last night wasn't just the touchdowns that resulted from that offense or the up tempo, but we were running that up tempo, and to watch Pierre have to call a timeout and to see their guys visibly just tired on the field. You don't see that often with Pierre, right? It's Pierre, and they were visibly a little shaken up from all that, and they had to call a timeout, and that was pretty special.
Absolutely,
but,
and that's a kind of that's our goal is we need to get them worn out to the point where they're spending timeouts that they might need later on, whether it's against our defense, offense, specialties, whatever it is. We want to get them to use those, because we are going so fast, and we're pushing the tempo at that point. I don't know. Everybody watching can probably see the only person that's standing there waiting for the ball to be snapped is our center, because he has to. The ref's holding him up, and I always tell him, everybody else should be set. He's the only guy waiting. Once that ball's set, then he's down, and that's exactly how they played last night. I don't think missed more than 3 seconds per play on that, which is very efficient. It was very fast, very efficient. I just really think those guys ended the season with a bang. It's a good feeling going out of that game, knowing that they gave everything that they could.
Coach Colpitz, your final fall season thoughts?
Yeah, it's hard to follow that up. We covered all the bases.
Coach Huber's an artist.
It was well said.
Something like that.
It was well said.
I got a face radio.
Yes, you do. I think we'll start with special teams. I've had the privilege of having Trevor Paulson as a kicker for 4 years. I mean, he started as a freshman, and so you get to know a guy pretty well when that's the case, and you get to watch him do a lot of really great things. It's been a lot of fun watching him grow as a person and as a player. And heck, without him, our special teams isn't what it is. And so, just really proud of the way he's taken on that role, and the way Coach Hale and him have worked together. And it was a lot of fun to watch. When you talk about the defensive back group, you've got a senior laden group of Mac Reichen, Cooper Grotenheis, and Rainer Roig, and you throw Cody Oswald, who's kind of an outside linebacker / safety this year. And then you got Rugby Reichen coming in. That all those guys that I just named, they made a lot of really big plays for us, whether it was offense or defense this year. Just it was really exciting. And you know what? They took, not only did they make big plays, but they took the role of leader very well. Our younger guys had a lot to look up to. And, Coach Huber talks about, coming in as a freshman coach, and seeing those guys get to that senior year and watching them develop. I got to see them a year earlier in middle school as their PE teacher, and you could tell that this was going to be a really fun group when they got to be seniors, just because of their character and the way that they approached games and practices. They just had fun being around each other and competing. And, that's something that you miss more than, what they gave on the field, is just the way that they were, and the way that they carried themselves. Every senior group, I think, has something special and unique about them. But these guys, the way they handled adversity and the way that they came to work every day, you could tell that they enjoyed what they did. They enjoyed the work. They enjoyed the practice. And because of that, by the end of the season, we had a really talented group, and they were able to develop and grow, throughout that time period. And that's just a credit to the way they approach life. And if they continue to do that, they're going to be very successful husbands and fathers, and whatever profession they get into, they're going to be the leaders of those professions, because they're going to be guys that are trustworthy, and they're going to be guys that are fun to be around, and they're going to be guys that push themselves. And so, like Coach Huber alluded to, that's way more important than the game of football. If you think about why we do it, we do it because we love the game, but we also do it because, it sounds cliche, but we're trying to instill the values that, our coaches instilled in us that have helped us to become better husbands and better fathers and better people in society. And so just really excited to see them, take that next step. And after they, a lot of them have sports the rest of this year, we'll watch them and cheer them on. But when they go and transition to that next level of college and then so on and so forth after that, just a lot of fun to watch them grow. So.
Well, coaches, excuse me, man, I'm really coughed up today. I want to say thanks for joining us all season long on the show. I really do appreciate the time you've taken, but most of all, congratulations on a very successful and fun season.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a blast all season. I think I told you this on the radio last week, but your guys' coverage has been really awesome for us, for the community. So we thank you as well.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, coaches. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll come back and continue talking Yankton Bucks football.
It's the season of getting cozy, the season of warm apple ciders and sweet pumpkin pies. Before it's gone, be sure to get in the car, rev up that engine, put your pedal to the metal, and burn rubber before heading straight to the games. Fall sports are back, and First Dakota is sitting right up front with you on this adrenaline roller coaster. Raise your hands with every game-saving point, shout out your lungs when it kicks into overtime, and enjoy the ride of the season. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
It's that time of year again, and Yankton Rexall recommends you protect yourself from the flu bug by getting a flu shot from our pharmacy. Hi, this is Michael. Stop in anytime, Monday through Friday, and receive your seasonal flu shot. No prescription or appointment necessary. We'll even bill Medicare or insurance for those eligible. Stop in and let us protect you from the flu bug this season. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923, located in the Meridian District.
The holidays are approaching, and while you're busy planning family gatherings and other events, you may forget everything else. The Yankton Medical Clinic reminds you to use all remaining flex dollars before the end of the year. Whether you're due for a checkup, in need of a procedure, or burn yourself cooking that turkey, the physicians at the Yankton Medical Clinic are available to help. You spend all year planning your finances. Don't let your flex spending dollars go to waste. Call for an appointment today or visit yanktonmedicalclinic.com. So much care, so close to home.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing. Every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
You're listening to The Coaches Show on KYNT and KYNT-TV, brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
All right, it's our final Yankton Bucks football segment of the final, I guess we'll have one more kind of fall show next week, but be joined by Coach Brady Hale, Coach Matt Decker. Coaches, good morning.
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 All right, so I said a couple segments now, but I'll say to you guys, obviously a tough loss, but overall successful and fun season for Yankton Bucks football. And when everyone's done processing this, everyone will see that. And I know it's always difficult the morning after, quite literally. But yeah, a very fun season. And let's jump right into very few X's and O's. We'll talk mainly about the senior group and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. But Coach Hale, how was it dusting off the old Bucks spread? That was something you were very heavily involved in as a player.
Yeah. I mean, in the practice, it looked great, and I was excited to try it out. And the situation arose in the second half to where we kind of needed a little bit of something to change it up. And boy, they have personnel. We have the personnel groupings to make that work really well. And rugby in the middle, you got Cody Oswald on the right side, who can throw the ball country mile, and then Lucas Kampshoff, who Buck fans will get to see next year play a lot of football. He did a great job running that as well. So I'm just glad that it got dusted off and we were able to throw that out there again.
Well, we could talk about the season for 7 hours. We could talk about every individual senior for an hour apiece. So, and I want to remind people that at the end of the show, I'm going to go through every senior on this Yankton Bucks roster, make sure they get the shout out they deserve. So I'm not going to miss anyone. I have the roster literally pulled up, but I do want to point out a few to you guys. Obviously, especially once you're in record books and things of that nature, people are gonna be seeing your name forever. And man, this is gonna be a tall task, which I hope you're up for it. But let's talk about rugby. Let's try to keep it somewhat short. But just he played his last high school career game last night.
Yeah. So first thing I'll say about rugby is he, as good of a football player as he is a better person, and he is one of the most competitive people I have ever met. And just the things that come to mind about him are, I mean, if I had his competitive drive and his will to be the best version of himself as a high school student, you know, it would have made me 10 times better. And that's what I think about rugby. And, you know, he's left a mark on the program that's just, I mean, it's definitely left this place in such a better place than when he found it. And the things he's done on the field, obviously speak for themselves, and Yankton fans can see that watching him play football. He's just a special quarterback, and, you know, he's in the record books for a reason, and I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. And, I mean, just the way he played last night kind of epitomized what he's all about, just leaving it all on the line and playing hard until just the very last second. And I'm just fortunate enough to be able to continue to watch him, you know, compete throughout the remainder of his high school career. And I feel fortunate to get to be a part of his whole career as a whole. So.
And then Coach Decker, and obviously, for everyone listening, watching again, I'm going to mention all the seniors at the end of the show because I'm looking through a mirror and I'm like, well, I want to talk about him. I want to talk about him, but you know, we're only allotted so much time. But Coach Decker, for example, Tyler Stoller, Cody Oswald, two receivers that you handled directly, and what careers they've had.
You know, I just can't say enough about those two guys. Just the way they've developed from their freshman year, you know, into last night. They've just had great careers, and they've developed into the athletes and the people that they are today. And you know, those are two guys that I told Tyler and Cody last night, you guys have set the precedent of what a Yankton Buck football wide receiver is for this program. Like, they have laid the groundwork, and same with, you know, a couple others that, you know, are playing at the next level even right now, but they have done everything we've asked, and they laid it all out there last night. And they're just guys with high character, and that's something awesome that we can have in the program. And you know, Oz is going to continue to play, and Tyler is, you know, he's going to be successful at whatever he does. And they're just great human beings, which is really cool to see come from the Yankton program. It really is.
Yeah, and this is just an overarching thought about the entire team, but even on all the social media platforms during live streams of the games, there's former Bucks always commenting. Some very funny, no, there's always former Bucks commenting. It just shows you what this program really means to all these players and the community. And shortest segment us three have had as a group so far this season, but I want to give you guys a shout out and say thanks for all the time that you've taken to come into the studio. Coach Hale, I know you're here for the pizza, but
yeah, sorry, Bryce.
No, but it has been a very fun, successful season. And I'll give you guys a chance for some final words on the season.
Yeah. So I don't know if you talked about Paulie yet, but I just wanted to talk about Trevor Paulson real quick. That's a kid that, you know, I'm personally really going to miss that kid. And then obviously our team is going to miss him too. But he's a kid that, you know, him and I have a special bond just because of, you know, being special teams guys. It's easy to get grouped together and become close, because that's a position that maybe not everybody has a lot of knowledge about, and he's embraced that. And I'm really going to miss that kid on the field, and just the conversations we had. And he's had a heck of a career, and, you know, 4 years of high level special teams play. And, you know, that's not something that comes around very often. And Yankton's been pretty fortunate over the years to have specialists that have been able to kick the ball well. And Trevor has definitely left this special teams group in a really positive place. And, you know, I'm just really proud of that kid. So I wanted to make sure I shout that kid out. And then thank you, Bryce, for all your coverage this year. We really appreciate it. And I know all these kids really do like being able to hear themselves being mentioned on the radio, and you talking about them in a positive way. So thank you, Bryce, for that. We appreciate that.
Well, coaches, I wish there was a great way to end it. I guess I'll just say one more time, congratulations on, at the end of the day, it was a successful and fun season. And now we'll move on to some other sports or maybe some type of focus in the classroom, whatever you're doing. But I do appreciate it.
Thanks, Bryce.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, we'll come back and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? At First Chiropractic Centers, we have been helping people get back into their game for nearly 40 years. Whether your game is sports related, or it looks more like gardening, household chores, exercising, or just daily life, if your pain is preventing you from enjoying or participating in your chosen activity, we can help. First Chiropractic Centers, whole health with hands-on healing, with offices in Yankton, Scotland, Hardington, Tyndall, and Wagner.
Oh, I thought we'd never make it.
Me neither. I've never driven in a storm like that before.
Oh, man.
But we're home.
Yeah.
We're just a garage door away from...
Oh, what's the matter?
It's not working.
Why not?
I don't know. Who do I look like? Upper Midwest garage door?
Nah, they're much more handsome.
Don't get stuck in the cold. Before winter hits, call Upper Midwest Garage Door, your authorized Clopay dealer. They'll make sure your doors always go up so they never let you down. Online at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Bring the crew to Pete's Ranch in Yankton. This is Annie, and we have legendary pizza and chicken just waiting for you on our buffet. Let us know what you're craving, and we'll make it fresh and bring you the first slice. Or let us deliver right to your front door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Education. That is one of our core values here at Missouri River Associates. Just making a sale is not our number one priority here. Our office is here to educate you on your choices in the insurance world. We are here to guide you in making the right choice for you, your family, or your business. Our agents are honest and transparent with you on your coverages. Let one of our agents show you your options today. Missouri River Associates, 665-6885.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
Oh, I thought we'd never make it.
Me neither. I've never driven in a storm like that before.
Oh, man.
But we're home.
Yeah.
We're just a garage door away from...
Oh, what's the matter?
It's not working.
Why not?
I don't know. Who do I look like? Upper Midwest garage door?
Nah, they're much more handsome.
Don't get stuck in the cold. Before winter hits, call Upper Midwest Garage Door, your authorized Clopay dealer. They'll make sure your doors always go up so they never let you down. Online at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Thanks to all the Yankton Bucks football coaches for taking the time to join us today. We'll give them a shout out at the end of the show. Let's turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles volleyball, joined by Coach Chelsea Law. Coach, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, so obviously Yankton Gazelles volleyball ended Thursday. Watertown came into the Summit Activity Center. Yankton just finishes just outside the Sodex 16. Not the result you want, not the result that you were looking for.
Right.
But honestly, and I will kind of say, because I know we've talked about it throughout the season, the positives that this team has shown.
Yes.
But overall, a successful season in some regards.
Yes. And if you want to say, like, maybe it's kind of a learning, growing season, right? You're kind of looking at the numbers from last year to this year. It's kind of the complete opposites, right, of what we were having last year as far as, like, you know, roles and players, experience, the growth, right, and the potential that is there. We know it is, and that's exciting for them kind of going to now that they will be the seniors, and we have a big group of seniors. You can go rely on, like, the leadership and the experience now that they have hopefully taken and seen all the positives and can use that and make them kind of project towards next year.
I know you were always, when we've talked throughout the season, you're always a little shy about really bringing up the whole senior list thing, because it's something that it's very true, but I knew that you didn't want that to be the thing. Right?
No, right. And I don't want it to be something that's always in the back of your mind. Like, I want you to play volleyball, right? And see the potential that you have, the improvement that you can do, and to go that I can take this role and learn how to do this role, and I'm going to get better at it.
Yeah, and what I was saying is that I know that you didn't want that to be a thing, but it was, and the fact that
Yeah.
these juniors and sophomores and down,
Yeah.
they've really fought hard, and they competed at every level with teams that have like all seniors and all 6'8",
and have played varsity the year
Yep.
before. So you think like, Olivia Dimmer, right? Played freshman last year, sophomores, pulled her up to JV, and then boom, you're a varsity starter. That is a huge leap in AA competitive volleyball, right? And you think about what she has done, the growth that's there, and just how much better of a volleyball player that she is. She was too, but like that's a lot for somebody who has never been on the varsity floor to do what she did this year.
How was the where was the team's headset at after the loss when the season was over?
Yeah.
And was it pretty positive still?
Yeah, I feel like even though things didn't go our way all the time, we definitely had our opportunities to do some things. The first couple sets came out. Serve receive was great. I mean, everything on, moving shots around, ball going down, defensively doing our job. And then where pressure kind of comes in. Fourth set, we just let the serve receive kind of run away too much. And that's kind of a mental game. You can't serve receive the way you've been serve receiving, and then all of a sudden it just kind of goes away. Mental game check there for the serve receive. But we got back in it. We were up 3. It could have went either way. Just didn't go the way I think sometimes that we wanted to. But when we got done and you look at the really good things that we did that match, yeah, you end positively and go, there, you were there. That's how we know you can play. I know it wasn't a win, but you finish with positive with your teammates. You had a successful game, and you can use that to have a good mindset for next season.
You're gonna be like, Bryce, why are you bringing this up? But was it nice to have the season end, while it was still a loss, but have it end with that kind of performance and that kind of heart on the court, rather than kind of what I don't, and this is a part 2 question.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you about that matchup, but also, was it better to have it end the way it did at the Summit rather than the way it ended in Brooklyn?
Yeah, you're at home. You have to travel. Like, we talked about this too. You can't just leave it down to one game. Yeah. Like, if you look at the whole season, we had multiple games that had gone to 5 matches, back and forth and back and forth. We want to win those. So then you're putting yourself in the best spot possible for as far as the SODAC 16. You never want to go down the end and go, okay, we have to win this game. We have to win this game. And that's just a lot of pressure, especially when you don't have the same experience as, let's say, a Brookings. We played really well. Had definitely some unforced errors that were kind of creeping back in, which we don't. That's kind of our old habits. We're trying to get rid of those types of things. Brookings had 5 seniors. And when it's a completely different spot to be in when you're playing volleyball. And I said, you guys will have that next year now. You'll know what that feels like because you will be the seniors. And you can look back at this and go, hey, we battled with some teams that have way more experience than us. And if we could have maybe one less error on a serve, one less shank on a serve receive, those games were ours to have. So you can take those experiences and go, that isn't something that we can't fix. You can fix it and you can get better.
And this is, again, a talk about, and I guess it really, I said we're not going to talk about it as the juniors, no seniors, but it really is kind of a huge thing that circles the entire team.
Right.
How does it feel as a coach looking at your roster? Because every other year you end the season, you're losing 2 or 3 or 5 seniors.
Right.
But now you're like, oh, actually, every girl that wants to return can.
Right.
And they'll be back.
And that's what we said, we want this, whether it's your last game today or it's not. I mean, you can be the Cinderella story. Really cool things can happen in volleyball, right? It's just your mindset. Do you go into this? You want to be positive. You want to finish in a good spot, and knowing that playing your best volleyball right now in this last match or not last match, it's going to just set the tone for what you guys are going to be able to do for next year. So it is exciting. They should be very proud of themselves. I don't want them to end the season being frustrated. You want to end the season go, that's good. And that should be exciting for you.
How do you feel about the health of AA volleyball? I'm even just looking at the standings. You know what? It's pretty well mixed between your Sioux Falls metro schools, which I say with a tone, but also ESD schools mixed in there as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's with Sioux Falls, yes, but like
and West River,
with your ESD and the West River thing, it's kind of nice to have a mix up, right? You want, when somebody has, like, say for us next year, when you have a lot of seniors and you have that experience and it's your year, you want people to have that success, and you want people to have the year that they've been working for too, because that's what makes volleyball fun.
Coach, kind of final thoughts on the season. It just, and I apologize, I couldn't be there Thursday night, but I think Braden was there. I think you did a nice job.
Yes.
Covering the team, and sorry we get as much coverage as we wanted to this
Mhm.
season, but we talked about it in joking ways. The
Right.
schedule was not in the favor this season, especially since you guys decided to go play like 30 games on the road in a row.
On the road again.
You guys were road warriors this
Yes,
season.
we were. So it means next year I don't think we will be then.
Yeah,
Flip it.
just make sure Ryan makes sure that it's all home games next year, and we'll make it happen. But Coach, the floor is yours. Kind of final thoughts on the season, whatever you really want to
Yeah.
tell your team.
We just kind of, when I talked to, who'd you say it was there on Thursday night?
Braden.
Yeah,
Yep.
we just kind of said, it was, yes, it's end loss, but like you think about the people who are really good volleyball players. Macy Drossman had a really great game. You want people to end and go, that was good. I played the best volleyball that I can play. I played, it's done. And now I can think about for next year where you want to be. So overall, yes, young. I think that definitely some growing hiccups kind of can happen. But what you want for your team, especially when you're a sophomore and juniors, is to see their potential, to stay positive and play competitive volleyball, and to know that this is the things that I really want to work on this year, and look how much growth I had and how much better I have, put you in a good spot for next year, which they should be very proud of. Sometimes the wins and the losses don't always reflect how much growth there is and how much people have worked and all the things, but definitely used all the good things to project for next year.
Coach, congratulations on a successful, which it was, a growing season.
Yep.
And again, thanks to you for always coming here with good attitude and waiting for the football coaches to be done.
That's right.
I know you stare them down, right, when you walk in.
Move this along here, boys.
No, but I do want to say I always appreciate the time you take.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's Coach Chelsea Law, Yankton Gazelles volleyball for the final time this fall season. We'll take a break and come back and wrap things up.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
In the lab or up on stage, Mount Marty University has a place for you. From athletes and artists to academics and alumni, together we cheer each other on and work to make a difference in the lives of those around us. Show your spirit at a university that celebrates what makes us different. Schedule a tour at Mount Marty University by visiting mountmarty.edu or calling 605-668-1545.
All right, the Coaches Corner, the final time this fall season. Again, special thanks to all of the Yankton coaches, all varsity coaches, sub-varsity coaches. Doesn't matter. I appreciate all of them taking the time to come to the studio or take time via phone call to catch us up on their team's last performances, what's coming forward, and kind of overall the storylines of the season. And that just doesn't just include football and volleyball here today. You know, cross country, golf, tennis, competitive dance and cheer. And now I put myself in a corner where I'm going to forget someone. But all of the sports for taking the time, it's always appreciated. I said I was going to mention the Yankton Bucks football seniors, and I will. And just know that, just from my perspective, I want these seniors know that's been fun covering them on the Yankton Bucks football program for years now. And I wish them the absolute best of luck in their future endeavors. A lot of them, I'll be calling their games for basketball, maybe baseball. But no matter what you do after this, it's been an honor to call you under the lights at Crane Youngworth Field. You're all very truly special, and you should be very proud of what you've done, not just for the program, but for this community. So such a shout out to Mac Riken, old Mac Attack himself, Cody Oswald, or the Wizard of Oz, if you will. I know that he will be going to play football at Augustana, so congratulations on your Yankton Bucks football career. Trevor Paulson, I've said it all season, this season and last season, the best kicker punter in the state, and I stand by that. Good luck in whatever you do next. And then Tyler Solar, the sure hands of Tyler Solar, congratulations in the record books. It's been truly special to call your game since you were a freshman and starting games. It's been very fun to have you line up in the slot and always in motion. Always had you in motion, but I'm sure you didn't mind. Congratulations. And rumbling rugby, Riken. We'll be calling your games for basketball, and I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully baseball if you decided to still go out this year for that. It has been absolutely exciting to call your name under the quarterback position. So congratulations on the achievements in the record books, achievements on the field, and just overall from everything that I've heard from everyone in our interactions, just being just a good person. So congratulations, rugby, and whatever you decide to play next, if you decide to continue your athletic endeavors. And then going down the list of seniors here, Cooper Grotenhuis. I'm glad that you're able to continue to do what you were doing on the field in the secondary. Just a solid player. It's been really fun to know that whoever you line up across from, they're going to have a tough night getting open. It's been really fun calling your name. So congratulations, Cooper. Rainer Roig, just our Tasmanian devil in the secondary for Yankton Bucks this season. It's been really fun. Didn't get to see you last year. I believe you were hurt, but to be able to come out and have the year you did, and anyone that's also seen you in the secondary knows they're going to have a tough night ahead of them. It's been truly fun. Congratulations on your Yankton Bucks football career. Bowling ball himself, Gavin Swanson. I really loved watching you run the ball for the Yankton Bucks. Congratulations on a successful high school football career. Hopefully we see you doing that at the next level, if that's what you decide to do. If not, it's just been what a way to end it with the Yankton Bucks under the lights at Creighton Youngworth Field, or I guess last night Hollister Field, technically. But tough runner, tough kid. Always fun to watch you run that football. And then Charlie Foote, leading tackler for the Yankton Bucks football squad. Congratulations, being just that leader on that defensive end. Every team knows they're going to have a hard night with you in the lineup. Keegan Holmstrom, congratulations on your Yankton Bucks football career. Wherever you're asked to step into positions, you did. Always fun to see you out there and doing everything you can to contribute to this team. And no questions asked. Dominic Antrobus on the line, keeping rugby as safe as you possibly can, as well as opening up some holes for runners like Gavin Swanson. Congratulations to Dominic. And keep going down the list for seniors. And Luke Bernardo. Luke Bernardo, a senior, and it's been really special watching you kind of take over that new position on the line this year. It's really stepping up, kind of a neat position for you, and seeing you really embrace it as your own. And Coach Terry Huber has really called you out a lot in good ways this season for the work you have done. KYNT Studios, just always eating blocks. Every team had to know they had to have multiple blocking assignments to defend you. Congratulations to KYNT Studios. As we keep moving down the list here, Garrett Nelson, congratulations to Garrett Nelson in your Yankton Bucks football career. And those are all of the seniors for the Yankton Bucks that I have listed in front of me. Again, it's been an honor calling your games. Hopefully we'll be calling you on the basketball court to maybe the baseball diamond here this season still. But whatever you guys do in your next endeavor, good luck and congratulations one last time on being Yankton Bucks football players and what you've done for this community. I'll wrap up the show today. Make sure you stay on about noon for the Lancer pregame for football. And then over on Riverfront Sports 94.3 FM, Lancer basketball will be starting at 1:30 p.m. And then after that, after the football game ends, Lancer basketball will transfer over to KYNT. So a lot of Lancer action today. And that will actually wrap up the fall sports season for Yankton High School. But that doesn't stop the Coach's Corner. No, we keep moving forward because we have winter sports ahead of us. But one last congratulations to the Yankton coaches for taking the time to always come in and talk to us. It has been an honor to call your games and to just get to know all these coaches on a more personal level. It is really something special. Yankton does have it really nice with their athletics programs and the relationship they have with their community. It is something to truly embrace. This has been the Coach's Corner. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'm Bryce Ladwig. We'll talk later.
KYNT, FM 1021 and AM 1450.
It's time for a new kind of credit card. One that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen.